What is up, you guys? It's Duke, and I'm here to bring you a double chapter review of Clover Chapters 35 and 36. And these two chapters, 35 is pretty simple, but epic, man. It was just simple but epic. 36, there's 36 was pretty good. It was pretty simple too. Yeah, 36 was pretty simple too. So let's get on with this chapter. With chapter 35, okay, mainly two key points. Just like the stuff that happened in the beginning of the chapter, you know, with how it was just basically solid trash talking, and then Noezelle putting him down. Do I really have to go in depth with that? I mean, Noelle, she's like, hey, we need to help and stuff like that. They're like, no, we need to strengthen our defenses. Solid then sees, then maybe Solid begins healing Fugo, Leon, and Leopold, and then and she can only provide first aid. They need to get like a high leveled medic to aid them, and then Solid, he comes in talking trash, saying, yeah, how pathetic, look how pathetic the Vermilion household is and stuff like that. We should get the Crimson Lions disbanded and stuff like that. And Noezelle, he's like, yo, we weren't there to aid, which makes us even more useless. And then freaking Solid was like, Nisama. Fuck Solid, like, just grab the nigga by the head. Damn. Fuck Solid. But anywho, after that we go to Aster, who's captured by the White Knight's Demon Eyes, and basically the members of White Knight's Demon Eyes are telling the person that captured Aster that she needs to kill Aster because the boss will kill him instead. And she doesn't want to kill Aster because Aster is basically because of Aster's anti-magic ability. She wants to test it. She basically wants to do experiment, makes Aster her guinea pig. That's basically it. Aster does come to, and they go into the hideout, and then you see Julius Nova Kronos, and then they're like, yo, kill this boy, and he's like, oh, come on, you didn't and then he just freaking uses two orbs, like dish them out like it's his freaking job, like he's just handing out orbs like it's his freaking job. Kills two of them, and I'll get on, like, alright, I kind of want to save this for chapter 37 because it reveals what those orbs actually do, but it was kind of obvious. But anywho, yeah, but spoiler alert, just to be safe, even though it's kind of obvious what those orbs did after Julius revealed his second technique, chronostasis. Basically those orbs that Julius just hands out like it's his freaking job that he can just spam, they instantly rapidly ages anything it touches. That's basically what that orb does. That's like, bro, yo, no. And mind you, and he kills two of them. Then the vegetation magic user, he comes in, tries to freaking take him on, and then he's like, no, freaking orb, dish out, blasts through his vegetation magic, and then kills him. And then Brad is like, no way, I don't believe it. And Julius is like, oh, come on, you went into our kingdom killing people, so I mean, you should have been more than well ready to be killed yourself. And then he freaking uses Chrono, and then Sally and the Wind Mage, I'll get onto his name like in I think they revealed his name, yeah, chapter 37, yeah, chapter 30, yeah, they revealed his name in chapter 37, but his name is Jiru, and he uses his piercing tornado spears like he did to Aster and Leopold. And then Sally, she uses a gel magic, and they start firing at him. Like, he just freaking speeds on, like, yo, he's just, like, moving side to side casually at extraordinary speeds, and basically, he uses chronostasis, and mind you, when he spammed those balls of time orb and uses chronostasis, basically chronostasis freezes you, freezes you for a continuous second, and you're stuck standing there for a continuous second. So when he uses and like when he uses all those techniques, he did it without using his grimoire. The grimoire in Black Clover is like when somebody uses their grimoire, it's like this. Basically, it's like this. All right, yeah, it's like freaking Bleach reference. Roar, Zagarado, or Scatter, Sembo, and Zakura. That's basically a grimoire. It's like the Shikai to a Magic Knight. And I'm gonna bring in a reference from Zatch Bell. Basically, it's like, and the grimoire also acts like a life force. So I guess you can bring in a reference from both Zatch Bell. Well, Zatch Bell, whenever a Momoto book would be like burnt, it would it basically freaking it basically sends the Momoto back to the Momoto world. So I guess you can more references towards a Vivre card from One Piece, where if a grimoire like begins to disintegrate and stuff like that, that's because it acts like a life force to that person. So if that person's in near death and stuff like that, their grimoire will begin to like disintegrate. That just like how Ace was in near death in One Piece, and his Vivre card began to disintegrate. So that's basically how a grimoire works, and it's like a Shikai, like freaking yeah, I'm unleashing my grimoire, freaking take all these spells, man, take all these spells, take my yeah. So he did it all without his grimoire, and I was like, yo. And Aster sees this, and Aster's like completely like shocked. He's like overwhelmed. So overall, this chapter, I'm gonna leave it like, from a structural standpoint, it was a very simple chapter. It was epic, but it was very simple. But anywho, let's see. Yeah, the parts I like, definitely Julius Noah Chronos. The parts that I thought were just like I kind of, the only part I was disappointed in was when like I wish like we could like, because those members of the White Knights Demon Eyes, even though two of them we never knew what they could do, but that vegetation magic users, I kind of wish he was still kept around, like to keep the members up. But anywho, whatever, it is what it is. But anywho, overall the chapter, I leave it at man, I want to give it a great. I want to give it a great, but like from a structural standpoint, it's simple. It's very simple. All right, I'm just gonna leave it at great. Yeah, a great, like and just leave it at that. So moving on, let's go on to chapter 36. So for chapter 36, you know what? Let me just do this. I'm just gonna give you a brief summary and then the highlights, and that's it. And then the highlights, and then my overall thoughts. You know, the good and the bad to the chapter, and that's it. So first off, Aster, he's basically shocked at the mightiness, the awesomeness that is Julius Nova Chronos, and he's like, yo, this is the dude I have to surpass to become the Sorcery Emperor and stuff like that. And Julius has his hand out. After he forces himself to get up without the help of Julius, and then Julius, he begins asking about the stone tablet, and basically, if you notice at the stone tablet, you see four holes in it, and you see other jewels in it, like rectangular jewels, and these jewels, basically, you see them glowing. If you look at like the full page where Julius is asking about it, you see it glowing while there's 4 holes missing, and so he asks about it, and then they notice like a shining light. And you see a silhouette of a person with a grimoire open, and then freaking Julius has his freaking orb up, and he's like, yo, I'm about to you're about to get it, and then he's like, oh shit, and basically the dude is revealed to be the leader of the White Knights Demon Eyes, and he escapes with Sally, Voltos, and Rads, and Jiro was still kept captive by Julius. So then we go to the hospital where Fugo, Leon, and Leopold are being healed. We see the Magic Knights outside, and Julius and Aster, they warp there with Jiro, and they're like, and basically they they start talking. They start conversation with the other Magic Knights and stuff like that, and Julius, he begins to regret that Fugo Leon is in that state, and that he shouldn't have left, and he made a horrible mistake. And because and even though he finally got some solid evidence on the White Knights demonized, since he's been investigating them for a while, he still regrets what happened to Fugo Leon, because it happened on his watch. So that provided characterization for Julius. And anywho, afterwards, the Magic Knights claim they're gonna get stronger and stuff like that, and then freaking Leopold shows up, and he's like, and then we have, Noezelle begins to leave, and Noezelle, he swears that whoever put Fugo Leon in that state, he's gonna bury them. And not only that, but after that, Leopold shows up, and he said, and then you have a flashback about his brother and stuff like that, and he's like, Aster, you came with me, I'll get stronger too, and you too, Aster, you came, both you and me were at the gates, was at death's doors together. So basically, then we have a flashback, and then Leopold, he burns his finger, and then he burns the crest of the Vermilion household on his head, and claims that he's gonna be the next sorcery emperor. Sorry, but anywho, and that's the summary. So, anywho, the highlights of the chapter, as I explained like a few minutes ago, like a minute or two ago, about the stone tablet. You notice that 4 is missing, and they also got freaking Fugo Leon's his jewel. Like he apparently his family apparently had a jewel, and he kept it around his neck. And basically they took it, and they're basically and apparently that jewel is part of the stone tablet, which means they now need 3 of them to complete it. And so we don't, and if you go back to the first arc of Black Clover, the end of the first act, I believe it was chapter 10, you see the leader of the White Knights Demonize, and basically he's like, we're gonna revive our Lord and Master. So I'm still wondering who their master is. It could possibly be the demon that we saw on the very first chapter of Black Clover in the color page. So that's who's now like a giant skull in the outer ring, I believe. And so I'm still wondering who their master is. It could be another demon entirely. So I'm still curious. But anywho, when it comes to Noezelle, there was one thing we see, like when it comes to his characterization, he got characterization and stuff like that. We see him and Fugo Leon as kids, and then battling together when they're growing up. But there was one thing I noticed that was like, wait, what happened? Because there's like more to it. It's not just out of respect and stuff like that he wants to bury them, but something Fugo Leon said. No, Noezelle, he thought to himself this: pathetic, what a blunder! You won't be allowed a third chance, Noezelle. And it kind of got to me. Did like something? The 2 events, apparently, from the looks of it, 2 events happened before, or I don't know, like because he won't be allowed a third chance, which means he had a first and second chance. So something must have happened in the past between Noezelle and Fugo Leon. Maybe Fugo Leon saved Nozelle's life on 2 occasions, or something. Or Fugo Leon was at like mid-danger, life was in danger, and Noezelle, he couldn't do anything to save Fugo Leon on two occurrences. I don't know what it could be, but something must have, something's going on there with Noezelle. And when it came to Leopold's characterization / development, basically Leopold, he keeps hearing like in the flashback, he hears so many good things about his older brother and stuff like that. And one day Leopold asks his brother, hey, what does that symbol mean? What does that symbol on your forehead mean? And he's like, oh, this is the crest of the Vermilion household. It can only be worn by a member of the family who's sworn to take the throne as Magic Knight one day. And Leopold is like, oh, my brother's so cool and stuff like that. But then after seeing his brother in this state, he's like, and because like his goal was that he wanted to be alongside his brother and wanted to be right by his brother once his brother became Magic Knight. But now, after seeing his brother in this state, after seeing this, he wants to get stronger, not just be beside his brother, but he wants to become Magic Knight himself. So he burns the crest of the Vermilion household on his forehead, And basically, instead of wanting to be by his brother's side, he wants to now surpass his brother and become the Magic Knight. The Sorcery Emperor. What the fuck am I saying, man? But anywho, overall, I thought the chapter, it was a good chapter. It was a really good chapter. And the Magic Knights are going to get even more powerful than they are already. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, overall, I thought these two chapters. I'm gonna leave this chapter at a good plus. It did provide a lot of characterization, and it did hint at something going on with Noezelle. Provided a lot of characterization and good development for Leopold. Provided some characterization for Julius in a sense, because he regrets what he did. Like he kind of regrets what he did, even though he got like a solid evidence, like solid info on them. And it provided quintessential like it's foreshadowing a quintessential event to the overall story of Black Clover. So yeah, overall I thought these chapters were pretty good. So tell me you guys thought, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.